Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to the Monday night live stream. So happy to have everybody here. I see we got a lot of regulars, we got some new people, so that's nice to see. Tonight's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk to someone that has been on my stream before and knows quite a bit about the reefing hobby, so I thought it'd be fun to have him on. Um, it's going to be interesting. We're going to talk about all I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, the drama of the week, I guess, because I've been reading and I've been on some forums and I've seen all kinds of fun stuff. And yeah, it's been quite interesting this week. Have you guys, if you guys haven't seen, I did post a couple videos, one of which, um, don't tell me I'm pink. I've been fixing this all day. um, if you guys haven't seen my new Georgia aquarium video, it took me a while to get it taken care of, but I finally was able to do it, and I'm happy to post it and all that fun stuff. Hopefully, you guys got a chance to look at it. And I'm gonna fix this pink if it's the last thing I do. I'm gonna fix this pink. There we go. I'm not as pink now. Anyway, without further ado, we're gonna bring in Aaron from Aaron's Aquaculture. What's going on, Aaron?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
This is the man, the myth, the legend. He was on my stream. I don't know. Have you been on my stream twice or once or I don't know.
I don't know. I think just one.
He is, in my opinion, he probably doesn't think so. He is the co-founder of Reef Automation. I don't care what he says, but he is.
Yeah.
You run Reef Automation as much as I do. Well, I don't know about that. That's why I don't pay him as much as
Right.
I should.
You're
But
cheap anyway.
yeah, what's going on, man? How's the
It's
tank
your
doing?
topic, man. Take's doing great. Still, I'm almost a year old now. No water changes. My recent ICP showed everything was dead green. So, doing good.
It's late for Aaron, guys, so if he doesn't want to be here, that's because I made him come on tonight. So,
Yeah.
but it's a good topic. I watched the reefing report last night. I know not a lot of people really have watched it, but hopefully they start getting a little more traction. But I watched it last night for the first time, and they were talking about this whole government thing that's going on. I didn't know much about it, and I started reading about it. And since me and you both are kind of in the reptile hobby, I see a reptile behind you. It's a big deal for the reptile hobby as well. Is from my understanding, they're going to limit or completely eliminate the ability in which to basically take animals between state lines, is what it sounds like. Um,
Right. Limit any
and
kind of imports and, state to state inter. So,
and it's
yeah,
a huge
it's
deal
there's
for
a lot of
us.
gray. There's a lot of gray writing in it, so they're leaving it open for just about anything. And the bad thing is they packed it into a bill that it's about everything else, but they just kind of slipped that in there. So it's less than 1% of the bill, but it affects a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, you do, from my understanding, you do a lot of tank startups for companies out there in Florida. Is that correct?
I help some companies. I do a lot of local hobbyists, do a
Okay.
lot of online chat back and forth, setting up. We've done yours a few times.
Yeah. And what do you, if any, have you spoke to any of these vendors or anybody out there, and what's their kind of thoughts about everything that's going on?
Actually, we were looking forward to a shop opening up here in the next couple months, and now they may suspend it until they find out what's going on with this.
That's
And it
ridiculous.
would have been one of our best shops that we'd have come in this area.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you, but well, I kind of do know about you, but I order all my corals absolutely nowhere from Arizona. So all of my corals
Right.
come from nearby you usually. I have ordered a few things from I think a guy in Pennsylvania one time. Um, but all that will cease to exist. You'll have to get your coral from a buddy, you know. You'll have to get everything. You'll have to get your fish from a buddy. And I don't know how this.
Right.
I mean, this is gonna. If what I'm reading is accurate, I don't think there's gonna be a hobby if they
Yeah.
can't import animals. Like I don't see how there would be a hobby, unfortunately, and it's sad. You know,
Right.
especially
Right.
like I said for the reptile business. Um, actually, all of the reptile business is animals. I mean, that's what it is. Um, whereas
Yeah.
aquariums, we could have. I mean, you can have a good planted tank aquarium. I mean, you can have. I guess you can have an only coral tank. I don't know if the corals are going to be an issue yet. It's going to be like it's funny. Gary just said we're going to be smuggling corals. It's going to be like a drug
Yeah.
cartel business. We're going to have to start like a like a
The
black
Underground
market.
Railroad all again.
Let's see. Now, Reef and Eight Easy talked about bred more captive fish. Well, yes, you could breed more captive fish, but it's going to still remain in your state. So you're not going to be able to give them to people across state lines.
And there's
Um,
very few facilities or people that can really breed fish, and they're not in great numbers. I know there's a few big commercial outfits that are slowly getting it, but it's
mhm.
not near enough even to supply their own state for what they need, let alone states like yours that probably aren't real heavy on anything like that. So in
We're we're
Florida, I'm pretty
we're
safe because we got a lot of it.
we're barely heavy on keeping anything alive. Like if I go to a fish store, if I go to a fish store, I'll be the first to say here in Arizona, if they got a whole slew of living corals that look perfect, that will be the day. Like every time I went to a store here, there's always a bunch of corals dying, or it's just unfortunate here in Arizona. It's just not a we don't have a big fish reefing scene, unfortunately.
Yeah, and what I was looking at, actually have the page pulled up, but the Animal Welfare Institute started a study in 2015. I think they had a huge hand in the regulations getting slipped in there because basically they say that hobbyists all they do is kill fish and just make people go out and capture more. So
Well, I mean, let's be honest. There's I've met a handful. I'm sure you meet way more than I do because I'm antisocial. But I I I mean, there's newbies that make a lot of mistakes in our hobby. Mistakes in our hobby are more prevalent, let's just say, than the reptile hobby. I don't see as many people killing reptiles as much as I see people killing fish and coral. Uh, you know,
yeah,
and I think it's interesting that they're, I'm not, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not speaking up for the reptile hobby, but it's all part of the same situation. It's coming from the same bill. It doesn't matter what the animal is, except for dogs and cats, which no one seems
yeah,
to be
that's
able
what it
to.
looks like. I'm
Uh,
not sure how it's going to play.
let's see. I begged it. Too many damn iguanas in South Florida. Well, okay, let me rephrase that, Dave. We're not talking about evasive. I'm talking about what Aaron was mentioning about how people are killing their animals and then they're just importing more and killing their animals. And, evasive, that's a whole nother conversation. I think a lot of this has been, this bill and all this nonsense has come about because of invasive species, is partially part of it, if I'm not mistaken, especially where Aaron is in Florida. You guys have tons of evasive species.
Yeah, down south, there's a lot of invasive
Yeah.
species and people just letting them go. I mean, even on the fish side too. But another thing, I mean, I could throw a number up because I haven't researched it, but even the wholesalers that are wholesaling fish in, the
Hmm.
way they're captured and kept before they even get to a pet store or to the end user, there's a heavy loss before we even get our hands on. So I would say we're probably on the low side compared to them on the percentages of loss.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, some of the wholesalers like the old SDC, they're larger now. They combined with, I can't remember the other company right now, but they're one of the larger importers. And when you order fish from them, I mean, the fish that are coming in are in really bad shape, a lot of death loss. Quality Marine's not like that though. They're one that are actually setting the bar for anyone else wanting to fish
Well,
because they
you
have a really strict method on the way they care for their fish. But aside from them, most other big importers or wholesalers, I mean, their loss is massive.
Mhm. I don't think it. I'm trying to remember. Was it Bobby Humblefish who did an article or a study on importers and the facilities? I guess didn't he
Right.
do something
Yeah,
on that?
there's been discussions on it. You know, years ago the hobby wasn't so big that so when they bring their fish in every, I think it was every 3 to 6 months, they would tear down and sterilize their systems, and so you're not getting resistant type parasites and diseases to what our medications are. But now, I mean, it's last I heard it was at least 18 months since they'd even cleaned them, and they're still not cleaning their systems. And now they're running heavy copper. So when you're keeping like ick is in a copper tank for a long time, eventually they're going to become copper resistant. So
Right.
now you're introducing all these parasites in that transfers on to us hobbyists. But I think a lot of it stems down to the practices. If they want to crack down on anybody, maybe crack down on the wholesalers instead of the hobbyists.
Right. No, I agree. I completely agree. I think it's a lot of this has to do with the wholesalers and how they are importing the fish into the country. Um, I'm looking at some of the comments. Freshwater fish. I assume this is going to be directly related to freshwater fish as well. Um, I don't see why it wouldn't. And I think freshwater fish in general are a much larger hobby than saltwater fish.
But
Um,
freshwater are easier to breed in captivity.
yeah.
Saltwater requires, quite a bit more experience on doing it.
Mhm. Dave had a good question. What can we do? You know, I just started. I don't know about Aaron. I think I just started looking into this on Saturday. Because what it was past what last week? I mean, maybe was it past last week or was it the
Yeah,
fourth? I think it was passed through the
I don't
house.
know. I'm going to paste a link in the chat.
Okay.
Aquariumtrade.org is something that Humblefish has passed along. Um, they talk in depth about things that you can do to try to help. But yeah, it's in the chat right now if you can get it.
Yeah, so it sounds to me, from my understanding, based on what I read this weekend, is the only thing you could do is call your senator. Because right now it's going to be up to the Senate to, make this thing go through, just like every bill. So, from my understanding, your best solution at this point is contact your senator and, explain to them that you don't, you know, do what you're supposed to do when you call your senator. I've never done it before, but that's what you're supposed to be doing because it can't pass the Senate. Furthermore, there is a company, not a company, it's a group called USARK, USARK, and they are spearheading some type of petition, I believe, to go against this as well. But it sounds to me like the only thing that we can do as a hobbyist is to contact your state senator. That's I mean, what do you think, Aaron? Is there anything else you could
But
think we
like I
could
said,
do?
I was reading through it a little bit, but aquariumtrade.org has a few things where you can sign up, and I mean we can email our senators or try to talk to our senators, but trying to get through to them is pretty tough. I've tried before. But if you
Mm-hmm.
get on and sign up with some of these other larger groups that have a voice in it, maybe they can step in and speak on our behalf. Where for us, it's kind of tough for us, unless we flood them. I mean, but you need a large number of people to flood them, and I don't know how big the hobby is compared to other issues that the senators are looking at right now.
Well, I know the reptile hobbyists because I'm sort of into reptiles now, if you didn't know. Um, is a lot, probably 4 or 5 times the size of our hobby, and I know they're spearheading something huge to go at them. But like everything in this, I would say in this country, you got to have money backing everything. If there's some rich guy out there that wants to throw a bunch of money at something, or start a cause or start a company that can go at this, um, GN Zake just had a good comment. He said Petco and PetSmart have deep pockets. I can assure you, Petco and PetSmart are on this, and they have to be. I mean, they have to be. Like I would say, other than dogs and cats, what 50% of their business is reptile and fish. I mean,
Yeah, largely. But the bad thing is, like, if you go into we have pet land here, but you go in there and the dogs are what really keep the places going
mhm.
because, we have a local pet land and they added dogs to it. And since then, the tanks just aren't getting the care they used to.
Yeah. I'm curious. I haven't read it. I haven't looked anywhere. Is this regarding rodents also, like hamsters and rabbits, things of that nature?
From what I understand, it's basically anything but cats and dogs.
And if that's the case, look at that then. I mean, Petco, yeah, 50% I would say of their business is anything but cat or dogs. I mean, you go into a Petco, half of the store is dogs and cats, half of the store is everything else. Birds, reptiles, all that. So, but I can assure you they're doing something. I mean, that would kill their business. I believe it would kill their business. Um, let's see. They've been trying to kill the hobby for years. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is when I was younger, I always liked organizations like PETA. As a
God.
yeah, as a I'm saying when I was younger, because they always seemed to care about animals, and I always loved animals, right? And then as I started to learn about them, I mean, yeah, they're not that great. And they're one of the companies or one of the organizations that are trying to get this passed. If you guys don't know that, um, I'm looking at
But
some
like
of
someone
these.
just saying here, hopefully it goes without getting into bureaucratic stuff here, but hopefully it goes along party lines
Right,
because that's what's been stopping a lot of the nonsense going through. It's just all these bills that are going through right now are completely packed with stuff from everywhere. I mean, I agree with a lot of the Competes Act because it has to do with industry and it allows us to compete industry wide. But
right.
I don't know why you throw in pets because pets is a little different.
Ira is saying 50% is aggressive. You know, it's hard because here in Arizona, reptiles are huge. I don't know what they are in like Florida or other states, but here in Arizona, the reptile hobby is gigantic. Um, would he's saying that dogs and cats are more of the revenue than the rest of the store. And at least when I go into Petco or when I go into PetSmart, there are tons of people in the fish area or in the reptile area than there are in the cats and dogs. It's hard for me to kind of get an idea of how much they're actually losing. Reefbot Cam Elite. I know I need a new camera. Aaron said I need a new camera when I got in here too. Let's see. Da-da-da. There was another great question here. Um, Bertram Capital. All right, or is this Bertram? I am gonna say I agree that Bertram Capital should get something going because I have a feeling this hobby is going to have a lot of struggles if this bill gets passed, and they're heavily relying on bulk reef supply, for instance, to do their job. And how is bulk reef supply going to do their job if none of us have animals?
Right.
Let's see if I see anything
on
else here.
on the
Focus,
coral
Derek.
side, we
I'm
can
trying to
we can
focus.
aquaculture a lot, but on the fish side, we're in trouble there because I mean I don't know about anybody else, but I feel reef tank needs fish too.
Yes, absolutely. We need big name stars to get involved. Bad example. Yes, bad example. But Hollywood people that were on Tanked. They're not really Hollywood people, but I see what you're saying. Oh no, Glenn's here. I look like Violet from Willy Wonka now. I changed it. Do I look purple now?
Yeah, he's rough.
I'm gonna I'm gonna fix my light and I'm gonna fix my camera at some point.
I've been telling him to buy a real one for a long time.
Uh, let's see. I'm looking at some of the. I'm not pink. Come on, you guys are punks. I'm gonna fix this. Am I still pink? Better not be pink anymore. Anyway, oh boy, Manny. We're gonna go over that a little bit later, I think, in this video. I want to talk about that. um, but second, I think we talked about this. But secondary, I wanted to discuss this whole Tropic Marin saga. I know it's been like beat to death on so many streams, but I wanted to give my opinion. Glenn is not coming on the stream, guys, ever again, probably. Even though he wants to, he's gonna have to beg. Um, I don't know what your opinion is, Aaron, but I've been using Tropic Marin salt. I'm going to say probably since 2002, maybe 2001. So what, 20 years? Um,
Well, every organic salt company has gone through this though.
yeah,
And then now people look at their salt like, oh my gosh, it got dirty. It's just organics. I don't know what all the bad stuff was they had that came out of Turkey, but I mean, I love Fritz salt, and Fritz went through the same thing and almost went bankrupt until I think it was Saltwater Aquarium. No, somebody else bailed them out, but then they had to go under a lot more stringent, tests on it stuff. But now it's a great salt. So I
yeah.
mean, yeah, they got some bad salt that went through, but before that, they've always been good, and I'm sure the rest of the stuff's being heavily tested. So I mean, if it said Turkey, yeah, I don't know, I'd test it maybe, but I don't know how bad it got because some people kind of blow it out of proportion. But it makes it hard to tell actually how bad it actually was.
And oh boy. Uh, and the reason I'm saying I've been using it for 20 years is because you folks have seen my tanks, right? I use it on my all three of my tanks. I've used it for so many years. Aaron has been through my ups and downs with my tank, right?
Yeah,
I've never, not once, said to myself, the salt is the problem with my tank, right? It's always been something else, right? It's always been my nitrates or my nutrients are not right. It's always been I got some bacterial issue, but it's never been the salt that has been causing my issues in my tank. Now, not to say that it's caused other people's issues, and not to say that they've had some issues because of their salt in the past, but I think people in general are getting way too out of hand saying that this salt is causing all these problems with their tank. Um, just my own personal opinion, if you do a 10% water change and you have this bad salt that we're talking about, I mean, unless Aaron's going to disagree with me, I don't know how it's going to nuke your tank. I just can't see it unless there's something in there that's poisonous.
it'd have to be pretty bad because most people do 10% water changes. Oh, and I see what Greg Carroll was saying there. Yes, they have different areas that they work, but they almost closed down the salt portion of their business. I mean, I'd say in bankrupt for the whole company, no, but it cost them so much money that they about quit making salt. Um, Live Aquaria. If
Mhm.
you buy their regular yellow labeled salt, that's Fritz Blue Box. That's made in the same plant, same
Mhm.
location. What they did was instead of testing every 10 to 20,000 pounds, when Live Aquaria signed on with them and basically saved their salt division, they just told them they had to test every 2,000 pounds. And since
Mhm.
then, they've been right off. They've been good.
And to another I've seen that. Oh boy, here we go. Sinister Online. I hope we have mods in here to get rid of these idiots.
The mods can't delete these people. We can only time them out for 300 seconds.
Oh, I'm gonna have to give you guys some more. I
Oh, let
banned
me do
them.
it this time.
I did
No,
it.
just let me delete the message.
I did it. Anyway, there's something else I want to say about this, and I've seen this a lot this week, and it kind of it irks me a little bit. I have a 55-gallon drum of salt water mixing all the time. That's what I do. You guys might have seen it on my videos. I've used probably 6 different salts in there. and I wanted to find the one salt that wouldn't create brown gunk at the bottom, right? Every salt I used, every salt, Red Sea was the worst, by the way. Red Sea Blue Bucket I used to try. I never tried Fritz. I will tell you, I've never tried Fritz salt. But every other salt that I tried, let's see, Instant Ocean, trying to remember all of them. Neo Marine, Brightwell, um,
I guess the
man,
question, Derek, if you're worried about the organics in the salt, why aren't you running synthetic salt instead of organic?
oh, look at
Because
this
I mean, the
guy.
organics is what the brown stuff is.
Well, that's where I was getting to. I was getting to that. So I see all these things online about people getting brown gunk, and they're all blaming Tropic Marin turkey salt. And I'm like, listen, that's been an issue with every salt that I've ever used. I mean, except for this special Aaron's blend of synthetic whatever garbage he's talking about. I've always got the brown gunk, you know? So for those that are watching, I just want you to know the brown gunk has nothing to do with Tropic Marin. It's because like you said, there's is it
It's
organic or
naturally
where it's
organics, yeah.
yeah, that causes that. Um I've been seeing some really funny pictures and videos of people showing us their mixture of Tropic Marin salt, and I see like this little haze on the top, and they go, "Oh, there's all this crap in here." I go, "Because you didn't mix it enough, dude." It's like I don't know. I wanted to talk about Tropic Marin salt because I just keep seeing these funny things going on with it, and I've been using them for so many years, and I'm
Well, I'll
going to
tell you what.
continue to use them.
One thing you can ask people though, when you do a 5% water change and all of a sudden your coral are all puffed up for the next couple hours, why do you think it is that they're all puffed up? I mean, it's not because of the trace elements that you're dumping in there, because a 5% water change doesn't do really that much for it. But those organics are floating around in the water, and that's what they're scavenging up.
Right.
So yeah, they're feeding off of those organics anyways, and what they don't, ends up
Mhm.
going to your filter or your skimmer or whatever.
So to kind of in conclusion to what I'm trying to say, and I'm going to mention what Reef the Sea Forever is talking about, is there's a good chance that people have had issues because of the salt, and there's a reason why Tropic Marin had to release a statement because there's got to be obvious reasoning behind all this. All I'm getting at is that I'm going to continue to use their salt. I love their salt. I've never had any issues in my personal tank with their salt. Um, and that was really all I wanted to get to with my statements today. Is I'm seeing this crazy amount of hoopla over this. People saying I'm never going to buy their stuff again. It's like, you know, my favorite actually is that I saw this guy and he was so ticked off at Saltwater Aquarium, and he was so mad because Saltwater Aquarium um, apparently gave him the salt and didn't apologize or something. I was like, listen, I'm a vendor. I sell Neptune. I sell all these products. I sell Hydros, and if I sold you a faulty product, that's one thing. But if I sold you a product that the manufacturer, had caused the issue, it's not really my fault, that I sold you a product that was defective, you know, from the manufacturer. That's all I'm saying. So I feel bad for some of these companies that are going to probably lose a lot of money having to take back this salt. It's unfortunate, but you know,
Yeah, I haven't really
um,
looked into it a whole lot. I'm not sure what they had in it. Have you heard what they actually had in it?
no, that was another thing I was going to mention. No one really knows. It's all a bunch of anecdotal information. It's all a bunch of people like getting mad for no reason.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
trying to find where somebody's done an ICP to say this is what's in it, because that would explain what's wrong with the coral. I mean, if we knew it was in it, then we know, hey, yeah, it could be the fault of a kill, or if it's high organics, because most people are just saying that it was dirtier than normal. So did it have higher organics, which caused your skimmer to go, or was it a clay that was in the organics? That'd be my biggest concern, something like clay getting in the tank.
Hey, Glenn, I love your statement here. Finally, a quality statement from Glenn. You know what? I'm not going to say people are dumb, but I'm going to tell you that I've been seeing a lot of people online going at the companies that sold them the salt, and it's like it's not their fault. You know, And I feel bad for some of these people. Like, I don't know what I would do if I had to return all this. I had to basically eat all this salt. You got to realize, guys, if you get a 200-gallon bucket from Tropic Marin, it costs us what? 100, well, now it costs us like $110, right? You got to realize how much it costs for that company to ship it to you. It probably costs them like $30 to $40 easy, and let's say the markup on that is, just for the sake of this, let's just say it's $50. Okay, they probably made what, $20, $10 on that one thing that they sold
Yeah,
you.
they don't make a lot.
So another thing is, you got to realize these companies are losing tons of money because of this. So for people to go at them, those companies like Saltwater Aquarium, I it makes me upset. Like I said, it irks me.
But I am seeing some Reef and Ain't Easy and Manny's Reef said it was clay that was in it, which I can see that killing things because things can't shed clay very well. I've seen that before. It's kind of like lanthanum chloride. If you overdose of lanthanum chloride, it sticks to everything,
Oh,
and you
okay,
can't really shed it. They can't shed it off from itself because it'll adhere to it.
okay.
So that would make sense why people are upset if that's what they're getting.
Well, there was a couple points about ICP and a couple points about a few other things. Yeah, I guess if there was clay in there, that might be bad, but um, it's hard. I'm just bringing out my opinion on it. I haven't had any issues, and for people that have had issues, to just directly build, you know, say it's the salt's fault. It's like this is the same conversation we have. What, every 6 months? There's always a salt conversation. This salt's better than this salt because this salt killed my corals. This salt. It just seems
Yeah.
to be always happening. Um, Glenn, you're never coming back. I don't know what you think you're doing.
So Glenn will be back with me. Then we'll both wake up and have fun.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I mean, yeah, if it's clay and it, yeah. I mean, maybe I'll have to eat my words then. Screw this
Yeah.
nerd. See, he doesn't even like you.
I think it's talking about you, man.
He could be talking about me, actually.
Yeah, I'm going to say it is.
Okay. Let's see. What else did I want to talk about? We do have a contest. We've only had 26 people enter, which is great because I was going to say we need 25 people. I would like to get some more people.
We got 41 people here. We got 7 likes today. I went
Nice.
ahead and liked the video today because I'm in it.
Oh, I appreciate it.
You won't
Someone,
see that dislike on it this time.
thank you. Someone disliked my Georgia aquarium video. I was like, really? You didn't like that video? Like, it should have made you smile, dude. Of course, he was talking about me. Yeah, I had to wear my glasses today. I'm having an issue with my contacts, so I'm gonna work on the lights. I'm gonna work on the camera and make it perfect for everyone. Can we get a fight, Glenn against Aaron? I don't fight. I don't fight. Aaron fights my battles. So if I'm getting a fist fight, Aaron will fight because Aaron's a martial artist. I'm not. There's a visual sentiment thing. Wouldn't it be common sense to not add it to your tank to begin with? Um, yes, but I've mixed salt and I see things in it and I just throw it in the tank. I mean, I don't know.
Some said it was really cloudy, though, from what I was reading.
Okay.
So, yeah, it would make sense. Say it's super cloudy, keep on mixing. If it doesn't clear up, don't use it.
Yes, at that
Once it
point,
gets
yes.
near, my tank's starting to crash after my water change, so let me do a much larger water change. And I saw that. There was a lot of people, that was their advice was, hey, I did a water change. Now my tank's, everything's looking terrible. Oh, you need to do another water change without asking anything. That's the problem I'm seeing a lot lately. And I haven't been answering on the groups anymore as much just because there's so many people that have read something somewhere and they think that applies to everything, that they're
Right.
experts. So, yeah, you can't speak over those.
Valhalla made a really good point, and I wanted to mention something. People are upset with Tropic Marin for the breakdown of their QT process. And I want to say, I've been to some of these companies and seen their operations. You got to realize that, oh, sister's back on. You got to realize that these companies are not as big as you might think they are. Like, I don't know. What do you think about that? They should have a
Well, like
quarantine
with
process for salt. I don't know.
well, they kind of do, and that's what I was getting at with Fritz. Like Fritz does every 2,000 pounds, they test each batch now, where a lot of companies go 20,000 pounds. So at the beginning of the 20,000, let's say it's good, but in the middle they get a big pocket of clay, and how many buckets does that equal? They could have 1,000 buckets that went out before the end of it, but by the end of the run of 20,000 pounds, they're through the clay, so they never caught it. Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
it'd be hard to check. I mean, getting 2,000 pound tests would be a lot easier, but still, I mean, I don't know what their practices are, but if it's 20,000 pounds, then somewhere in the middle, there could have been a pocket of clay that got into it that they never could see without,
Mhm.
testing every bucket.
And that's the thing. If they tested every bucket, think about how much that would cost them.
Oh, I know.
That's the other thing I wish people would understand is these companies, they have to make a profit to stay in business, right? And if they're not making a profit because they're having to test every single thing, there's some companies out there that can do that. Apple can do that, for instance. Um, I don't know. That's my opinion. Now, Red the Sea Reefers or Red the Sea Forever is saying I went to Instant Ocean. Okay, so I'm going to give a scenario. Instant Ocean, do we know their process? Do we know what they're doing over there? It's the same situation. We don't know, and maybe a year from now, Instant Ocean has an issue, or I don't know. I don't know what to say. I just want to stick up for Tropic Marin because I've always used their product. I love most of their products I use. Lou, who I've met, is a really nice guy. I feel sorry that they got to deal with all this right now. Um, and that's really all I want to say about it. I don't
Okay, so what's the next thing you want to talk about then?
know. Yeah, because we can go on about this dumb salt thing forever. The contest. I never got to say anything about the contest. So the contest today is a bucket of Tropic Marin turkey salt. That's correct. Everyone's getting their own bucket of Tropic Marin turkey salt. What do you think, guys? Good contest. Let's see how many people leave right now, thinking I'm being
Bet you get a
serious.
cheat.
I probably could. Uh, let's see. Set back to the week back in one saw. Anyway, what was I saying?
Contest?
That's right, contest. What are we giving away?
I don't know what you're giving away.
No,
I can spend your money though if you want me to start saying stuff you're going to give away.
No, I thought you were giving something away. That's what we discussed. Remember?
Yeah, we didn't discuss anything.
Uh, well, we only got 25 people in here, so I'm not going to give away anything that big. I was thinking of giving away an XP8, but unfortunately, we didn't have enough people in here, so.
Well, we got 44 watching right now, so if we can get some more people to sign in, the I Reef Automation or exclamation I Reef Automation.
If we can bump this, if we can get, guys, if we can get 50 people to enter this contest, I will give away a Hydros XP8. How about that?
Got like 3 minutes to go and then time's up.
Oh, yeah.
I could use an XP8, so you should give it away. Maybe I'll win this time. It's been a while.
Oh, God. Yeah, I can't make it longer, guys, so never mind.
Billy Reefer's not allowed in.
What?
Billy Reefer can't be in it.
Why
Isn't
can't
he the one that
Philly
always
leave?
wins?
He does. I think Billy
Yeah,
Reefer has won like 5 times. Him and
yeah.
I think Glenn's never won, which is great. Um, no, we'll give away probably. What should we give away, man? What's something cool out right now that people want? I don't know. What do you think? Let's see.
I thought he
Oh.
would have thought about this beforehand. If this is Glenn's show, I'll bet you he'd already have a prize picked out.
Okay, okay. Today I was so flustered to get this thing going. I was like, my light's not working. I'm having all kinds of weird issues. I was late. Ah. Anyway, let's see what people in the chat want, and then we'll go with that. So, the next subject on my mind to talk about is I'm not going to mention any names, but for
Oh God,
some
everybody knows.
what?
Everybody already knows.
but I'm not
That's
going
all
to
I got
say
to
it.
say.
I'm not going to say it on live. Some person went crazy on me this weekend. Like seriously, um, I don't know what happened or what I did, but he just went nuts. Like he started PMing me all these horrible, hateful things. I had one guy start calling me all these racist things, uh, and then some other guy. I don't know. They were all friends. I don't know. They must have been all friends. Just like going crazy on me, and I was like, "What did I do?"
Hey, I got attacked too because I didn't agree with the product that was out there. And anybody that knows me, I don't support companies. I support the local reefers or any reefer because I mean that's what I do. I do help for even the guy that's got a 5 gallon reef. I'm helping him, and I
Mm,
understand where the reefer comes from. So if I see a product out there that's got false claims, I don't go and bash them or anything, but I will give a little input on it to warn some of the reefers, hey, this isn't right for you, or the claims are false or whatever. And I did that one time, and the same person had like 20 of his buddies went after me. And I mean, I did an in-depth scientific shebang for it for BRS, and
mm-hmm.
I mean, I put all the pictures up, I put all the information up. I had a 500x microscope. I did iodine tests and all kinds of stuff. If anybody knows, I'm an engineer, and I get really deep down into stuff when I test it.
Well, you and me, I don't know if it was when we first met. It was a while after, but we had both looked up this aquachar thing. I've mentioned this in my stream before many times, how I dislike aquachar. Um, and yeah, I got in an argument with another guy about aquachar like a week or two ago. But anyways, I look like Grimace from McDonald's. Really, guys? Really? Is this what we're doing tonight? So anyway, we had this thing with Aquachar. Um, that's what I should give away, Aquachar. And we, I'm not purple anymore. We, I'm losing my focus.
You
Uh,
get sidetracked, man. Is that why you're purple?
yes, that's exactly why. So the Aquachar, I I think I watched Reef Dude's stream where he had the owner of Aquachar come on. I think I've done this a few times, unfortunately. Same thing happened with Aquarium Engineering. He had douche nozzle on, and he, said, "So great, so great, so great," and I bought it. I bought on it. Like I buy everything. They're called influencers for a reason, but I made the decision to test it, and I think you tested it with me. Um, the Aquachar. He had the Aquachar guy on. I was like, okay, I'm having a pH issue. They claim if you put Aquachar in that you'll raise your pH. Remember that whole situation?
Mm.
And this was before you had tested anything on it. So I got it home. It was not that expensive. I want to say 25 bucks, which
That
was
was $25 for a little bit, though. I thought it was extremely expensive.
okay. I'll give you. I'll rebut my statement. 25 bucks. I don't remember how much came with it, but put it in my tank. Didn't. What the heck? We got a pig.
Yes, I brought the pig.
Anyway, so much distractions tonight. Um,
Yep.
so we put it in the tank. It didn't do anything to the pH, and my tank wasn't any clearer than if I had put carbon in my tank. So I was like, so what's the point of this, and why is it? Why are these people preaching it so much? So you did some tests, and from my understanding, and forgive me if I forgot, um, you found that it was the exact same elements, same everything as Walmart's lump charcoal.
Yeah, I actually I went and bought some lump charcoal because I thought it looked like that. And I mean, the pore size was exactly the same when I did an iodine test, exactly the same. I did a copper absorption test, exactly the same. And there's a couple other companies that did really well, but it didn't even perform half as good as all the others. I mean, the one claim that it could work because it could hold bacteria as it sits in your tank,
Mm.
but we have better products for that kind of thing, so you can't sell it on that. But I'm not going to go into bashing it too much right now. But when I tested it, yeah, none of the claims were true, and I mean,
So
I didn't ask for any free. I bought it myself on my little Ziploc baggie with my $25 worth showed up, and I'm willing to try anything,
Me too.
but I don't want locals to try it and spend the money and it not do what it's claimed because
Hmm.
it's more expensive than regular carbon.
Right. So what I was getting at is kind of it feeds into my story. Is you and me were on a group. I'm not going to say the groups. I'm not going to say names. People know if they know. Me and you were on a group together, and we had for the rest of the hobby, like me specifically, I'm sure you do this too, but one of my goals of this channel has always been to, call people out and be honest with people, right? So me and you, I believe it was more you than me, posted your findings of the product on this forum, and we got booted immediately. Like it wasn't like a day. It wasn't even in a day. It was in like an hour. We got booted
That
immediately.
day, there was over 70 some people that got booed from that group because everybody had been started speaking up about their results they'd had. This is like after the product had only been out for like 2 months, and
Mm,
people were buying it up. Well, a lot of people started speaking out on what their results were. And I mean, I didn't post that to cause any problems in that group, but I didn't realize that maybe that group was sponsored by them and they couldn't have
right.
the actual truth out on it. And I mean, we'll step back a little bit, just how honest I am. I mean, when hydros came out, I mean, I was really hard on hydros. Now I
You
love
were.
it because it's proven. But I literally tore it down piece by piece, took pictures, and but I'll always stand corrected. I still stand by what I originally said, but it's proven me wrong on long-term use of it.
Mhm.
But I mean, I did a lot of testing with that product, and if I was wrong, I would have admitted it.
Mhm.
But
And that's the thing is we got booted immediately. I remember that because I was like, what? We're trying to help people and we're getting booted for it. So push comes to shove. Not push comes to shove. That's the wrong phrase. uh, future today, yesterday, or the day before. Oh my God, this same person and this same, I'm assuming the group owner, I believe he's the group owner, decided to just go ballistic on me for no reason. And I'm like, I was wondering if it had something to do with the aquachar because I'm sure people saw it on my Facebook group. It was just belligerent nonsense right off the bat. I didn't even know this person. And I'm mentioning it only because uh, that's what's been going on this week. Just a bunch of drama. It's crazy, this hobby. There's so much drama. And he also threatened to literally beat me up at a show, so that should be fun. I'm not going to a show without Aaron now. So I got that going for me. I was like, holy cow. Anyway, I just wanted to mention it. I was like, it was the craziest thing that ever happened to me. Anyway,
how many people you have the contest?
what?
How many people you have in your contest? XP8 time?
It hasn't changed.
Oh, man.
We're not giving away an XP8, dude. We're not giving away an
No.
XP8. No, no, no. Yeah, guys, I see what you're saying in there, but I don't know. I've been doing this now, what, 2 years roughly, and I love doing what I do and helping people. And this just totally caught me off guard. I was like, what did I do to this guy? Was I on a stream and did something bad?
Probably.
I was like, what the heck did I do? Anyway, uh, what am I doing? I'm visiting you in 3 weeks.
Yes, Derek will be here in 3 weeks.
I am going to Florida to visit Aaron. It's gonna be awesome. I'm hoping to do a live stream with you. Um, I'm hoping if you allow me to. We will not have a good camera there. I can tell you right now.
Yeah, we'll have my cell phone that'll stay on.
That's true. Um, and these people. I'm hoping we can go to the local fish stores. I don't know what we're gonna do when I'm down there, but I will plan probably a few live streams in a row. It'll be fun. And I'm gonna go to Top Shelf Aquatics when I visit Orlando, and I contacted them today, and I'm hoping I can do kind of like a behind the scenes there, so that'll be fun. I'm really excited to go out and see you and meet the pig and uh, see your tank and everything. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Aaron's camera is better than Derek. Dude, anyone's camera is better than Derek's.
Yeah, there's one of my tanks.
Yeah, your blue tongue skink.
Blue tongue skink in there.
Someone asked, can carbon dosing be stopped cold turkey? I'm going to say no. I think if you
No.
do that, you're going to have a huge bacterial bloom and probably some cyano and probably some algae.
Yep. Anything dealing with bacteria, you never want to do it quick.
So hopefully that helps you out, Christopher Martin. No, I'm not going to Aquashella. Unfortunately, I don't I can't afford to go on trips. This Florida trip we scheduled before COVID, and that's why we're going because we already paid for it. Let's see. Should watch a SpaceX launch. No, no interest. Did someone say XP8 giveaway? Dude, I said XP8 giveaway, but it's not going to be an XP8 giveaway. Maybe on the next stream, guys. Maybe on the next stream. But what else would you guys like? Someone said a gift card to my store. That's always a good one.
Glenn's
Uh,
talking about the XP8 or XP8. The what did he say? The SpaceX when they launch and stuff. When William Shatner came down, you know where he came down? Out here on our beach.
did he
Yeah,
really?
most of those come down here near Pensacola, and you can see them from our beach here. I'm just a couple miles from Pensacola down the
That's
beach.
awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's I'm excited. I know my wife's also excited to come out there and Arizona and our beautiful beaches. So we're excited for sure. Gift cards always work. Hat. I can't really get a hat for people. I've tried to get a hat for people. Battle OCR, I don't know if he's still here. I was able to get him a hat one time by begging. He also begged, but we got a hat that time.
Hey, aren't you
Um,
a Coral View vendor now? Can't you get hats from Coral View? I mean, you're fighting to get these hats from Terrence and everybody else. That's Coral View.
I don't think Coral View has hats. I can get you a
Oh,
Coral View T-shirt.
they gotta have merch.
I can get you a Hydro shirt, guys. If you want a Hydro shirt, I can
Yep.
get you. What do you want to do? Like get three winners, give them all shirts?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, see, they're not stingy with stuff like that. They like getting their stuff out there.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Three winners tonight. All get a shirt. Get a Hydro shirt. Because I
There
can
you
get
go.
you
That
Hydro
sounds
shirts.
good.
Yeah, that's a good idea. It's a
Then
pretty good one.
we need to get a hold of Coral View and see if we can get one of those golden hats, golden ticket hats that are hard to get. See if we get that going with them.
Well, I should be having Carlos on soon. I've got it scheduled now. I can't say what date, but yeah. Let's see. Looking if there's any other questions. I hope I'm not purple anymore. But if you guys want, I can be black and white. Watch this.
Ooh, fancy camera. Look,
There you
I can
go.
cover up my screen.
Yeah. It looked better when you covered up the screen.
Glenn,
Uh,
anytime, man, anytime. I'll get a real camera if I go on with you, Glenn.
well, Greg's upset. Greg's upset because he doesn't need a shirt. Well, Greg, I wouldn't be surprised if you don't need a shirt. You probably got everyone's shirt. Let's see. When are me and you starting your own podcast? Apparently, Aaron and Glenn are starting their own podcast. Everybody.
Apparently so. Oh,
people
wait,
want
fun.
people want the bad Tropic Marin salt than the shirt. I guess no one wants the shirts. Man, I can't win.
Hey, his shirt sounded good.
I
Got
think
my
the
vote on
shirts.
the shirt.
I think the shirt sounded good. Uh, Derek and Aaron should start their own podcast. I don't know about that.
I don't like being on camera.
Oh, I remember what I wanted to talk about. So everyone knows who Batfish Killer is. If they don't, it's my other friend named Aaron. I've been trying to get him on our stream for forever. You know, he had a kid. I don't know if you guys know this, but he had a
Oh,
kid,
sorry, Reef.
and he's been so busy. He got rid of his tank. He got rid of his tank, his 200-gallon tank.
How is he busy? He's got one kid. One kid.
I know, right? One kid, and he's
Yeah.
super busy. But what's crazy, here's the point I'm making. For those that have been on my channel for a long time, how much crap have I given Aaron for his fish tank? Let's see. I gave him a calcium reactor. I gave him a Neptune system. I gave him a hydro system. He got rid of his tank.
Oh,
So what does he?
must have
Here,
one
it
too
gets
many
better. So what does he do with all the equipment? Take a guess.
kids. Sold it.
You believe this? Did he keep the pond? Well, the pond lasted like 2 weeks. The pond.
Now it's just a mud puddle. Dig a hole in sand and fill it.
So getting to my point, it gets better. I gave him my Reef bot because, as you guys know, I have a Mastertronic now. I gave him the Reef bot because he said that he's going to record him destroying it with me, and I don't even know if he still has it now because he got rid of the tank. So if you guys see him, let him know I'm looking for him. Anyway. I love my Mastertronic, by the way. If guys haven't known that, I'm gonna make a video at some point. But yeah, he's got my Reef bot. Dude. I hope he's watching. He's gonna get mad when he hears what I'm saying about him. Anyway, we've been doing this an hour. It's late for you, huh?
Yeah, I'm good.
Everyone in chat was saying that you don't want to be here. I saw
Me?
it. Yep. They all
Oh, I
said.
missed it. I'm sleeping. No, you
Uh,
mentioned Mastertronic. I do have to say, man,
it's a good product.
some people are having some minor issues, but holy cow, Jonas is on top of every issue. I got to say, I'm impressed so far on their site. But I've literally had no issues. I actually changed. It's been 5 or 6 months that I've had it. Like, you know what? I should do some maintenance on this. What should I do? So I went ahead and replaced the needle. I mean, that's all I've done, and I've done 3 total ICP now, and I run Aquaforce 1, 2, 3 plus,
Hmm.
and that's about it. Of course, I dose about 350 milliliters a day of each one, but
Jeez.
yeah, it all came down back just perfect as can be, and it was great because I got to test that against my Mastertronic, and I mean, it was pretty much dead nuts on everything.
I'm telling you, and I'm gonna make a video. Obviously, I love it. I really do.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love it. It works. It works great. I haven't had a single issue with it yet. I haven't had to touch the reagents. I get notifications. Um, I mean, it works great. And to your point, ReefBot customer service is not the worst. They are the worst. Like, I don't know if I
Yeah.
emphasize that enough. Jonas is in Sweden. Eric is in Hong Kong, I believe. And if you message them at decent hours, they'll message you right back and help you. I mean, it's amazing. Um, it really is. I gotta say, I love that product. And to Gary's point, how come their products are never in stock? Well, I'm taking pre-orders for Mastertronic right now because I'm gonna be able to buy a batch of them soon. But
They're quality
it's
made.
COVID.
I mean, it's not
It's
like they can
COVID
mass
too.
produce them, and
That's
they're not
true.
3D printed.
That's true. They're very well made. That was the shocking part when I first got it. I was thinking I was going to open this thing up and there was going to be some plastic parts, and I was like, Here's another Reef bot. No, it is so well built. You can tell. Even the needle slide is well built. Um, I mean the reagent carousel. I mean, you can tell it's made with really strong gears. It's not going to just go flying at your face. Whereas the Reef bot, who knows? That thing could have exploded in my face, and I wouldn't been surprised. Um, Thank you, Glenn, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. I can't believe Glenn gave me money. That's really strange. I guess he's trying to bribe me to come back on the stream. Why does he even want to be on the stream? So did we decide the t-shirts are okay? Because I don't know if we, I don't know if we.
I think we had one big no on the t-shirts, but everyone else seemed like they were in favor.
Well, one
Two
big
hats, two
no.
t-shirts.
One big no was Greg. Greg was the big no.
Yeah.
I'm gonna contact actually someone mentioned in the stream or in the chat. I am contacting Neptune. We are gonna have someone from Neptune on. I would love to get an idea of what they're working on. I mean, no one's heard anything from Neptune. I don't know if BRS just took over and was like, you guys can't do videos anymore. I don't know. Like, what's going on with them?
They probably have a big production team working on it now, but they got to get it ironed out before they can air it, I'd imagine. Because BRS does pretty big production.
Yeah. But I hope they make some new products because I can tell you right now, Hydros is killing it,
Oh,
man. Hydros is
producer
killing
Reef
it.
had a good one. Hydros Feeder is one of your giveaways in a t-shirt.
That's a good one.
It
But you have to
is.
have a Hydros though.
That's true. Well, you just have to sell them the next two.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know how many people here have a Hydros, so that's probably true.
Hmm. I can't give out Neptune shirts, unfortunately. Unlike you said earlier, unlike uh,
Coral View.
Coral View, they get me shirts. I don't know if Let's Talk Reef is gone, but I haven't heard anything from them. Alcatronic or Mastertronic, my local trader said the Alcatronic is more important if you had to pick one of these two. What do you think? I
I'm
think
I'm a
Alcatronic is more
Mastertronics
important.
guy because my Mastertronic tests alkalinity anyways, and depends how you're dosing what you're doing. But I like to know the balance of my tank. But behind alkalinity is phosphates. I mean, alkalinity is number one to test in your tank, in my opinion, and number two is phosphates. So I hate manual testing. I like to know when something's changing in my tank. I don't know who tests phosphates every day, but if my machine is doing it, then I automatically get it. But the one thing I really like about Mastertronic as well is as it's doing a nitrate test, it also does a nitrite test.
That's
Who
right.
tests for ammonia or nitrites in their tank anymore? But when you crash a tank, you find out that you had a spike of ammonia or nitrites. This way you know. So you get a
Mhm.
little bit of everything in there. And I adjust my dosing for what I read.
So how often are you testing alkalinity?
Alkalinity I test 3 times a week right now, phosphates 3 times, and then everything else once.
So from my understanding, you can test phosphate daily and only have to replace your reagents once a month.
Yeah, you do have to top your phosphate, the small, whatever reagent it is used most, the reacting reagent. You do have to replace that a little more often. But yeah, I just finished up. See, now just till recently, I was doing it twice a week, not 3 times.
Mhm.
But I just went through my first boxes. So I started with 2 boxes of everything. And most of them, I've only gone through the first box if there was enough reagent. Because when you initially fill, you need 20 milliliters of each reagent. So it
Right.
takes 2 boxes for that fill, for the initial fill. But some of
Mhm.
them, I'm just now getting ready to buy new for it,
It's
or just getting
crazy.
ready to use new boxes. So, 5, 6 months in at twice a week, I'm still on my first kits. And I
Well,
actually
I
just gave
don't
away 3 or 4 of my original kits because they're almost out of date.
really.
Yeah, because the ones that one box would do your initial fill, I still had them. So, I mean, if you look on a box and it says it'll do 100 tests, again, you got to account for that 8 milliliters that you don't use that sits in the bottom of the vial. But you're still getting, after that eight milliliters at the bottom, from then on, you're still getting what the box calls for, what you're getting pretty much for tests. It's just you're not reading it. It is. So count the number of tests it does. And I mean, there's quite a few tests. It's not real expensive.
I'm curious because obviously I don't use it for alkalinity. I have an Trident, um, but I mean I would. You've been doing it the way you've been doing it, but I'd want to test alkalinity at least twice a day. But that's just me.
Yeah. But why? I mean, you
Uh,
test at the same time every day, that's going to tell you the same thing. If you're testing 2 times a day, you're going to get a different number. So
well,
then you're
what if
testing this
there?
against that.
I look at it as what if, like, what if there was a, I don't know, overdose or something. Catoractor versus carbon dosing. I would say
Sorry.
I have an algae turf scrubber, so I find that to be the best in terms of nutrient export. I think Aaron feels the same way I
Oh,
do.
yeah. Well, the thing with Chaeto is you start with a small ball and it slowly grows, and then you're always changing the nutrient export. You don't actually have the same amount of nutrient export the whole time.
Right.
Yes, you can adjust your lights a little bit or whatever, but it, you, it's just not as stable with oh, sorry, with algae scrubber. You can adjust your light just like dosing. If you need to dose a little more, you dose a little more. With algae turf scrubber, if you need to remove more nitrate and phosphate because they're starting to climb, just add more light.
Right.
So it's just so easy to adjust it and take out what you need. It's like, what was it? It's like 12 times more efficient than Chaeto for the amount of space you have.
I use algae turf scrubber and I won't use anything else. In terms of carbon dosing, Chris, I've never done carbon dosing. Um, I think it's too much work, to be honest with you. As an automation type person, I don't like dosing by hand. And most carbon dosing, I could be mistaken, but most carbon dosing wears out pumps pretty because it's alcohol based, right? So, I mean, usually your pumps don't do as well with it. Am I mistaken in that statement? I'm pretty sure it doesn't do as well
I've never really
with
heard too
pumps.
many because there's so little that you're using, it really doesn't hurt too much.
Okay.
Because basically all you're doing is feeding your bacteria.
Okay. Yeah, but I would stick with natural, like we're talking about, algae turf scrubber. But in terms of the Mastertronic, I would be testing my alkalinity, in case there was a overdose. That's the only reason I would be doing it. I guess I'm a little
I
more
guess,
scared about stuff like that. Um, and the Trident tests 4 times a day. Um, I don't know. I don't know. What would people out there do? How much would they
well, I
want to
mean, if
test?
you can have an alkalinity overdose, can't you have a magnesium overdose? Can't you have a
Yeah.
calcium overdose? I mean, there's all those. So I guess in your theory that you'd have to test everything so many times a day, but I mean, for many years, I mean,
Yeah.
most of us only tested once a week.
Yeah, but and if I'm wrong, you can yell at me. Alkalinity overdose is way more severe than a calcium or magnesium overdose.
Well, you should also an alkalinity overdose. You would probably see a big pH spike to where your alarms would go off on your pH monitor too. But for an alkalinity overdose, I guess you'd have to have some kind of automated equipment that something's telling it to turn on more.
Mhm.
So on mine, I use BRS dosers just because they're simple. It's an on-off and it's controlled easily.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen his setup, look at what our last stream, and you show up
Yeah,
your whole entire setup. It's pretty cool. All right, people are getting mad because it's late, so
it is.
so we'll run this contest. What did we decide? We decided the shirts. I think Greg had a really good idea. Um, maybe an X2 and a feeder, right? An X2 and a feeder that would work, I believe.
That would be awesome.
Doesn't an X2 have the sense ports or
Yep,
the
it's got sense and drive.
yeah, an X2. That might be a good one. An
That'd be
X2 and a
killer.
feeder. What do you think?
Heck yeah, that's awesome. I could use
Would you
both.
guys want to do that or three winners? Not three winners,
X2 and a feeder, somebody will score.
not three winners of X2 and feeders. We either do three winners of t-shirts or we do one winner of X2 and feeder.
Hey,
X2 and
Mark's
feeder.
on board with the X2, so yeah, then we got to do it.
Let's see. I'm gonna look. No, no XP8 in shirts. We're not giving away XP8s. We already decided this. They're like 3 times the price of what I'm giving away.
Oh yeah, everybody else agrees with me. X2.
But XP8s I can't get right now. I sold my first batch, so uh,
Philly's not allowed in.
Philly. Philly's got a nice Neptune setup.
Yeah.
All right. I think we have a consensus. I don't see anyone saying no here.
Yep,
Uh,
we're all in agreement.
all right, guys, we're giving away a Hydros X2, which is a complete controller, guys, with 2 drives and 2 senses, right? It's a
Yep.
great little controller and a feeder because I've actually never used the feeder, so I don't know.
Yeah, I need one.
Well, did you enter? Let's see. Did you enter?
Yes, I did. You bet
You
it.
did. You did enter. Okay. Here we go, guys. The winner today is Mr. Ira Roberts. Ira Roberts.
Reroll. That wasn't me.
You have to be here.
Ira Roberts.
He was here and he was asking lots of questions, so um, you also have to be a subscriber, Ira. I don't know if you're a subscriber. Um, if you guys don't know, when you win, I actually message you and ask you for this information, so you can't cheat.
Ira's here.
Nice,
Just kidding,
Ira.
man. Congratulations. That's a killer giveaway, really. I mean, that's a killer giveaway.
I totally agree. I think
I
was it
know.
your idea? Whose idea was it? That was a good
No, it
idea.
was, I think it was Gary or Greg or somebody. Greg, maybe.
Yeah, I think Greg's idea. Greg,
That's,
I got to have you on again, man. You're a fun guest. Way more fun than this guy Aaron, and
yeah, I'm
significantly
pretty
more
bored.
fun than Glenn. Way
I'd have
more.
fun with Greg, and I would have fun on here too because he's more of an Apex guy.
Is he really? I don't think
I believe
so.
so, yeah.
No, Greg, you're more of a Hydros guy now, aren't you? I think he is.
I just like to talk tech, so it's fun. I'm not real good at it. I get by.
Uh, yeah, Greg was on. I don't know when I had Greg on. Greg, it was a lot of fun to have you. We'll have to have you on again for sure. Um, definitely for sure. Anyway, we had some people. See, Hydros all the way. I was right.
Yep. Reefing ain't easy as an Apex guy. I know that. But yeah, congratulations, Ira, though.
I mean,
Kill yourself.
I'm both now. I'm a Hydros and a Neptune guy. I
Now,
mean,
Ira, if he doesn't have a really good auto top off, buy the Hydros auto top off. See, I bought an X2 because I run a dual auto top off in case it fails. And believe it or not, I've got my original pump that I had on my other tank. Um, yeah, those things last forever. So I did have to buy a new one when I got the Hydros. But the one, it's exact same pump as what I ran on my other one. It lasted 4 years and I never needed a new one.
well, I've
So,
said this in the past. I have my same, no joke, my same Tunes osmolator I have had for 15 years. Works the same as it's worked for 15 years. Just
old
saying.
tech. Yeah. And they work.
Anyway, Ira, reach out to me on Instagram or Facebook, and we'll get that thing shipped out to you. I know they have them in stock, so we'll be able to get those. Um, any follow-up stuff? If you guys know that person that was trying to kill me or whatever, um, say hello for me. Say hello for me. Uh, let's see. I'm reading all this.
Thanks for having me on. It's good chatting.
No, thank you, Aaron. I'm looking forward to seeing you in person and having a stream with you and beaching it up and all that fun stuff.
We'll make the best of it. All right, guys. We'll see y'all later.
See you guys.